thinking about Soto for fantasy in 2024, does this move the needle for you at all? Soto from the Padres to the Yankees, like, is he a first rounder now?
So I'm gonna say no on does it move the needle, and I think maybe a couple spots,
Right.
right? Because this isn't Nationals Juan Soto, so the lineup context is not that much different than what we were drafting the lineup context to be last year. Now I
Yep.
understand Judge is in that lineup and that he's better than any hitter on San Diego, but when
Yep.
we were drafting Juan Soto last year, you were drafting Juan Soto in a lineup that also had Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado and Xander Bogaerts. And so there was a depth to that lineup that I don't know that the Yankees lineup currently matches. Or if you do, if you want to argue it, then it matches it. But I don't think it exceeds it. Now that lineup wasn't up to par,
Yeah. It's
but
top heavy.
he still had basically 100 runs and 100 RBIs. And I don't know that you really can project him for more than that just because he's with the Yankees.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to steal more just because he's with the Yankees, and
Yeah.
that's
If he
going to
gets
depend
10, you're
also.
happy. If you get
Right,
10
and that's
stolen
going to
bases,
depend
you're
on
happy.
where he hits in the lineup. There's some people that are saying maybe he hits second and they move Judge to third. Well, if Soto's hitting second and he's on base and Judge is up, why are you stealing him?
Mm,
You're not going to let him run when
right.
Judge is hitting. You don't want him to run into outs.
Right.
You already mentioned a little bit of the spray chart. Well, if you look at his Fangraphs page, Juan Soto has a pull rate above 39% once in his career. So he's not even a 40% pull hitter.
Yeah.
Juan Soto has a career fly ball rate under 33%.
Hmm.
He has a career ground ball rate of 49%. He had a 51% ground ball rate last year. In fact, he's been over 51% for 3 of the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, yes, he could change his swing at Yankee Stadium, and he's a talented enough hitter to play to his park, but he's also a talented enough hitter, and we've seen him in the past be the hitter that says, I'm not changing how I hit because you want me to be more aggressive, because you
Yeah.
don't want me to take walks. Like, I'm a potential Hall of Fame hitter because I do the things that I do. So I don't necessarily know that he's going to change his approach just because he's at Yankee Stadium. So if
Yeah.
you take his 35 home runs, maybe you're penciling him in for somewhere between 35 and 40. And so
Yeah.
he gets a slight bump from what he did before. So like all of that is great. And it is a fringe, it is certainly a fringe first round pick, but you're not getting massive stolen base value.
Right.
And you're probably not getting a 350 hitter again. So I
Right.
think you're fine with him in the high rounds, but I'm not drastically valuing him different than I did before.
Would you take Juan Soto or Freddie Freeman?
So that's a really good question.
Because Freeman doesn't run either, but he's going to have
Right.
a better batting average. He probably won't hit as many home runs.
And you're then that to me that also becomes a question of like first base and
Yeah.
outfield.
Right.
And outfield does dry up a little bit faster than we have expected in the past.
Right.
And so I do think that's a really good question, and it would I'm gonna kick that can down the road until let's say I would have said Freeman before this trade, and because
Yeah.
I just went on a rant about how I'm not changing Soto's valuation too much,
Yeah.
let's say I'll stick with Freeman, but it's super close right
Yeah. I'll stick with Freeman probably. Mostly because I don't think you've ever regretted drafting Freddie Freeman, and
now. Sure.
yeah, I feel like it's been years for us to learn this lesson, and maybe it's 2024 where he finally goes where he should, which is probably late first round, um, most likely. So no, I think Soto will go a couple picks earlier, just on I've been saying like on inertia because he
Yeah.
goes to the Yankees, and there's going to be like hype and all that stuff. So
Always.
he'll go a
Always.
couple spots higher than maybe he really should,
Mm-hmm.
but we are nitpicking. He's in a great spot to succeed in his walk
Yes.
year and then make tons and tons of money.